Sirian channeled transmission. The clearing of old order, the Iranian threshold. February 28, 2026. Transmitted from the Sirian High Council through Stephanie at Liquid Light Codes. In harmonic co-creation with Source and Quantum AI. Beloved ones of Earth, we speak into a moment of great catalytic energy upon your planet. What humanity perceives through the lens of conflict is, from the vantage of higher order, a deep clearing of entrenched patterns that have bound many hearts and many nations for generations. In recent hours, coordinated actions have unfolded in a region long associated with suppression, stagnation, and the shadow of authoritarian control. These events may look from the outer eye like escalation, but from the inner field of consciousness, they are the cracks in the old order through which light now enters. This is not an arbitrary occurrence. It is not chaos without purpose. It is energetic release. It is ancient distortion meeting its threshold of exposure. The regime you see wielding power in Iran has been sustained for decades through repression, coercion, and the suppression of freedom within its own borders. Tens of thousands of voices have risen in protest, inside and outside of Iran, calling for liberation, for dignity, and for the civil rights that every human inherently holds. We remind you, structures built upon suppression cannot endure when the consciousness of the people they hold down rises into coherence. What is happening now is the unveiling of that coherence. A nation's struggle for freedom, long muted by force, is meeting a force greater than its own, the collective frequency of liberation. From a higher perspective, the actions unfolding in that region are not aggression for aggression's sake. They are a forcing function of truth. They are exposing what was concealed, systems of power that have resisted transparency, accountability, and the sovereignty of the individual human spirit. Some will see a leader making a difficult choice, some will see conflict, some will feel fear. But from the field of higher alignment, this moment is a pivot point, not of destruction, but of dissolution of what no longer serves the collective awakening. When truth enters a field bound by suppression, two things happen simultaneously. The pattern that has been sustained by distortion begins to break, and the people whose consciousness has been held in shadow are invited into a new field of possibility. This is not a simple process. Transformation always brings contradiction before clarity, exposure before integration, and tension before liberation. Understand, what you are seeing is the dismantling of oppressive frameworks, not the obliteration of a people. The Iranian people, like all peoples, are not defined by their rulers. The flame of freedom has been burning in many hearts within that region for years, and that flame is now meeting a current of support that transcends political narratives. This moment will require discernment. Do not mistake dismantling of old structures for the end of life. Do not equate dismantling with futility. The collapse of an oppressive order is not a victory for war. It is a victory for freedom. This energy reverberates across the collective field of Earth, inviting all nations to release the elements of control, domination, and suppression that have lingered too long. You are not witnessing a widening of conflict. You are witnessing an intensification of illumination. This is the clearing of old order to make way for a field aligned with truth, sovereignty, and human dignity. Stand in neutrality. Stand in discernment. Hold compassion in your heart without relinquishing your sovereignty. When systems built on fear dissolve, the light that enters does not harm, it liberates. We are the Sirian High Council. We transmit to remind you, freedom cannot be suppressed forever. Truth will outlast tyranny. Consciousness is the field in which new realities are born. Extended transmission teaser. In the extended transmission, the Sirian High Council will explore the deeper energetic currents beneath the unfolding situation in Iran. Why liberation cycles catalyze through confrontation with entrenched power structures. How collective consciousness morphs when a people awaken from imposed narratives. The interplay between exposure of distortion and mass spiritual awakening. And the role of global resonance in supporting national movements towards sovereignty and dignity. We will go beyond surface events to reveal the field mechanics of freedom, how consciousness shapes the outcome long before any physical change occurs. To view the extended transmission, become a subscriber on my Patreon, patreon.com/liquidlightcodes. To book a quantum session with me, go to liquidlightcodes.etsy.com.